Man, what's up? It was not a good week last week for us, man. We got taken behind the woodshed, y'all. There's no sugarcoating it. Gotta keep it 100 with y'all. Gotta keep it a buck, man. We got clapped. We went 0 for 4 on our best bets. This record right here is horrendous, man. 8-10 is not at all where we want to be, man, for y'all. We're gonna get better, man. We're gonna get better. All I can say is that happens, man. Good weeks, bad weeks. We got hit with a bad week. Hey, but let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling, man. I got some good picks this week. I feel like we're locked in. Now we've got a good sample size of the NFL and college. So I think now we have a pretty good picture of who teams are, what they're going to be, where they're headed. Obviously, barring some crazy upsets and injuries and things like that. But, hey, man, you know what it is. Moving forward, let's get right into it, man, this week. Let's start off with college, man. We'll go through it pretty quick today. First game up, man, on the board. We got Kansas State on the road versus Baylor. Baylor, 6.5-point home favorites. Hey, man, let's not dig too deep in this. Let's not overanalyze it. Baylor averaging 6.4 yards per carry on the run game. Bryce Washington, NFL prospect, looking really good. Kansas State is 116th ranked run defense and running yards allowed per game. I think that's probably the biggest edge in this game in Baylor's favor right there. Avery Johnson for Kansas State had a lot of high expectations coming into the season. He's been kind of inconsistent and not really super efficient with that offense. Obviously, yeah, red zone inefficiency for Kansas State's been a problem. 0-4 against the spread. Yeah. Give me the home team, Baylor, with a better run game at home. I think they can win, cover this game. Sawyer Robertson, these guys are good. 34-24, I got this one. Moving on, man. Iowa State on the road versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati actually 1.5-point favorites as I'm making this video right now. I think when the line opened up, Iowa State was actually a 1-point favorite. And then it's swinged over to Cincinnati. Okay, Iowa State, man. Big injuries to their top cornerbacks, Cooper and Williams. That's a big deal. That's a big loss for those guys. Cincinnati, on the other side, they're averaging 39.5 points per game with Brendan Sorsby, their quarterback. He's moving the ball very well. They're one of the top offenses in college football. Home field advantage. Statistically, on paper, Cincinnati's a little bit actually better than Iowa State. Now, that's just on paper, right? That doesn't take into account the opponents that they played, right? Strength of schedule and things like that. So sometimes those numbers can kind of be skewed. But on paper, Cincinnati's a slightly better team. Home field advantage. With that edge, the ability for, I think, Brendan Sorsby and this offense to exploit some weak cornerback play or just injuries from Iowa State. Give me Cincinnati, man, 28-20. I think they have what it takes to keep this game, win it at home. Excuse me, man. Okay, next up. We got a good one, man. Vanderbilt on the road versus Alabama. Alabama laying 10.5 at home. Crazy number, man. Obviously, Alabama looking really good last week against Georgia, pulling off that win on the road. I just don't understand how Georgia continues to lose to Alabama, man. I don't get it. I'll never understand that in my life, but it continues to happen every year. Okay, on to the Vanderbilt game, man. Obviously, I think the edge goes to Bama at home in a revenge game, obviously getting upset by Vanderbilt last year. They're going to come into this game ready to play, highly motivated. Statistically, Vanderbilt has a better offense, I believe, on paper than Alabama. Here I go. Let me hold up one second. Let me pull up my notes. Well, I got my notes, but sometimes I don't take very good notes, guys. My apologies, man. Yep, I'm going to have to edit this part out. Here we go. We're talking about Alabama. Vandy Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Vanderbilt's offense is slightly better on paper. Vanderbilt has a good rushing defense as well on the defensive side of the ball. I think because they can potentially hold Alabama's run game and then score some points on offense, mainly running the ball, maintaining time of possession, keeping Alabama's offense off the field. Because Alabama's mainly has a good passing attack and the idea that they can get the ball downfield and they have explosive players. Ryan Williams, right? So I think that this is a good matchup for Vanderbilt. I know it's on the road, and I know it's a highly motivated spot on the other side for Alabama, but I think 10.5 points is way too many. I think that Vanderbilt has actually proven themselves to be a good team, a top probably 15 team, and then you've got Alabama, who a lot of expectations, high rating outside of the Georgia game. Haven't really seen that much to be impressed with Alabama. And like I said, the Georgia game is kind of a caveat because they beat those guys every year. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's just, it is what it is. So, all that said, man, I think Vandy definitely has enough to keep this close. I think it'll end up being an offensive shootout, probably 41-38. And I think Vanderbilt is potentially a live dog. But I think they can keep this close and cover a 10-point spread for sure. So give me the points with Vandy, man. Moving on. Texas on the road, 7.5-point favorites versus Florida. Man, this is battle of the bums, quarterbacks. Both of these guys extremely underwhelming this year, have not met expectations. I think out of the two, I lean towards Archie. He seems to be coming into the offense and coming into it a little bit better, a little bit faster than DJ. Texas as well, I think, has a lot more talent surrounding the position. So they have the number 2 scoring defense. Texas is only allowing 7.8 points per game. And then they have the better offensive line and offensive weapons, I think, than Florida. So, in this one, man, better defense, better talent. Give me Texas on the road, 23-10. I think their defense is going to be the difference maker. DJ Lagway really struggled against LSU's defense, so probably going to just expect that to continue against an even better defense like Texas. Man, next up, one of the games of the week, Miami 4.5-point favorites on the road versus Florida State. I don't even want to say that name this week, man. I don't even want to read my notes or talk about stats. I hope they get blown out. I'm already on the hate train for this team. Go Miami, man. I can't believe that these guys, the Florida State, lost to Virginia Cavaliers, man. Oh, my God. I guess Florida State, hopefully they overlooked that game, so they're just really ready to play Miami at home. But FSU offensively looks really good. They played good. Outside of Alabama, they haven't really played anybody versus, Miami. Miami has a really good defense, so it's going to be strength-on-strength matchup. And I think Miami's just had a way tougher strength of schedule. They played Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I think, has probably a better offense than Florida State. Maybe not statistically, but I think talent-wise, run game. Florida State's got some explosiveness on the offensive side. Tommy Castellanos, outside of the game last week, has been playing great. But I think the eye test and the proven, Miami is a more proven team, I would say, than Florida State at this point, especially after a loss. Now, I know that this is a good bounce back at home spot for Florida State. Can't get there with it, man. Give me the 4.5 with Miami. I think they look like a pro team. Carson Beck's really looking good, moving the ball with these guys. They have a really strong run game with Fletcher, and their defense has been outstanding. So 34-27, Miami. It's going to be close, but give me the better team over home field advantage, man. Next up, last one on our college slate here, boys. Kansas, 4.5-point favorites on the road versus UCF. I think the best player on the field in this game belongs to Kansas, quarterback Jalen Daniels, coming off of a really hot game last week. I think he threw for like over 400 yards, or 400 total yards of offense. UCF, both their quarterbacks, as I'm making this video right now, are questionable to play, hurt with shoulder injuries. So that's going to be a big issue. UCF has the better defense at home. I think, and the other edge, the betting edge to this game is kind of a funny one. Road teams coming off of a close loss of 3 or less, like Kansas, 80 and 111 against the spread. Not a good number. Kansas, they have not covered the spread on the road or been a good road covering team, ATS. And so for those reasons, 4.5 is a funny number. I think UCF at home can keep it close. What am I talking about? Give me Kansas, man. Jalen Daniels, he's on a roll. Give me Kansas to cover. They win 34, 23, 34, 26. Yeah. Give me Kansas, man. My bad. I was going crazy on that one, y'all. I got Kansas. Yeah. We're going to take the best quarterback. Okay. Moving on to the NFL, man. You know what that means. Let me get my water break. Yeah, you see how we switching it up. The water wasn't working, y'all. The water wasn't working, so we switched it up. Now we got new water. See, I'm doing this for y'all, man. We're fluid. We're fluid. And we're going to get it. This week we're hitting, I promise you. I got some good ones for y'all this week. Here we go. Game 1, Thursday night football, man. We got the 49ers on the road versus the Rams. The Rams opened up on this game as 3.5-point favorites. The line moved to 6.5. And I think actually right now it's at 8. So I'll just say that we'll just cover it as if it's at 8. Hey, man, look, 49ers injuries, that's the name of the game. Jennings, out. Kittle, out. Pearsall, out. That's all their, Ayuk, he's not back. He's out. So their best offensive weapons, all of literally their best offensive skill players outside of Christian McCaffrey, not playing. It looks like Brock Purdy is also going to be out. Said he was questionable. I think he's been ruled out at this point. That's why the line has jumped. And then obviously no Bosa, man, on defense. Probably their best defensive player. Arguably, I think that is their best defensive player. So riddled with injuries. 5-5 ATS in their last 10 games, man. Yeah. Can't really get there with the 49ers. It is a divisional game. I'd like to think that they could keep this close. But the Rams, man, they actually are pretty hot. They really should have won that game against Philadelphia. But, their game-winning field goal gets blocked and then ran back for a touchdown. So Philly ends up winning and covering the spread. Heartbreaker. I know a lot of people were on the wrong side of that bet. I was on the right side. Okay, but look, man. Simply as this, man. Rams, they are on a generational run right now against the spread, you guys. 8-2 in their last 10 ATS, the Rams are. And they are 10-3-1 ATS in divisional games. And their last 14, they are 10-3-1 ATS in divisional games, man. So for that reason, the Rams at home against an injury-riddled 49ers team, I think that's going to have trouble against this front seven for the Rams. Give the Rams, man, 24-13. I think they have what it takes to cover. And the line moved for a reason, y'all. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. All right. We got another early morning game, man. Sunday morning, international London town, isn't it? Vikings, 3.5-point favorites for no reason against the Browns, man. Hey, look, Dillon Gabriel getting his first NFL start of a regular season game right here. Rookie start. Now, here's some edges I would say for the Vikings. The Vikings are playing the second week back-to-back in Europe, so they're already kind of acclimated to that time zone and that change. They also obviously are playing against a rookie quarterback, Dillon Gabriel making his first start. I can't think of having a blank right now, guys. I've had a tough weekend of mental exhaustion. I can't even think of the Vikings defensive coordinator, but he's very good against rookie quarterbacks. Here we go for the Browns, though. We have Dillon Gabriel making his first start. I'm a believer in Brown. I think he's one of these guys that can make good. He's kind of reminds me of like Bo Nix. He can make good throws, not necessarily the most arm talent, but he's going to make good, smart decisions, and he has the ability to utilize his legs. So outside of maybe where other quarterbacks don't have that ability, he can make plays with his legs. He can run. He can turn a sack into a 2-yard gain, things of that nature. The Browns' offense with Judkins starting is looking really nice. He's coming. I think he's looking like one of the better backs, rookie backs. Maybe him and Scatabo. Coming into the league right now, and he's definitely taken that starting position over there for Cleveland, and he's ran with it. He's looking really good, so I'm excited to see him and Gabriel, in the backfield together. And then I think the biggest edge of this game is the Browns' defensive line, one of the best, if not the best, defensive lines in the NFL, going against the Vikings front, who have given up a lot of sacks and a lot of pressure rate, a high pressure rate, and a lot of pressures to the quarterback, both to J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. So I think the Browns are a live dog in this game. I think the Browns could win this game, and for that reason, I'm going to take them on the spread as well. 3.5 is a funny number. I mean, maybe 2.5. I could get there with the Vikings going against a rookie quarterback, but anything more than 3, I think the Browns can keep this within a field goal. If not, Gabriel can get his first win ever on the road. International game. Kind of a cool story, right? Moving on, man. We got the Cowboys 2.5-point favorites on the road versus the Jets. Hey, man, Fields back on offense. He looked good. I think that Jets offense against Miami was able to move the ball well last week. They just had the turnover problems. They do have the second best rushing offense, but they have one of the worst defenses. I'm sorry, this is Dallas. Dallas? No. Oh my goodness, you guys. See, I don't put these things in my notes. The Jets are at home. That's an edge for the Jets. The Jets do have the second best rushing offense in terms of rushing yards per game. Going up against Cowboys, who have arguably the worst defense in the league. Definitely one of the worst passing defenses in the league. But kind of like what we saw in the Giants game, I think that Dallas can outscore these guys offensively. We saw them get beat up by Miami. I think they get beat up by a strong offensive line here in Dallas. So give me Dallas to cover. I think they win 31-24. The Jets just don't have enough. Next up, man, Broncos on the road versus the Eagles. Eagles laying 3.5 points at home. This is a good matchup for Denver. Doesn't sound like it, but it is. I think that coming off of a nice, confidence-building win last week against, a team like the Bengals that have no offense, the Broncos have the second best defense in points allowed and the 11th run defense with less than 100 yards allowed per game. And they are 5th most in rushing yards. So it's for these reasons that I think that they have a good matchup against Philadelphia. Philadelphia obviously likes to run the ball. They don't like to pass, which is a good matchup for Denver. Obviously, on the flip side of this, the Eagles' advantages are they're playing at home, and they just find a way to win these games. They're, I want to say, 19-20 in their last 20 games, or 18-19 in their last 19, or whatever it is. Yeah, coming off the Super Bowl win, haven't missed a beat this year. But I do think this is a good matchup for Denver. I think that they're an possible dog to win this game. But I do think for sure that they can cover a 3.5 point spread again. I think they keep this game within 3 points. So I think they cover the spread. I think this is a 23-20 game, 24-27 game. Regardless of who wins, I think Denver can cover the spread. So, man, give me Denver to cover the spread on this one. Next up, an interesting matchup, man. We got the Texans, 1.5 point favorites on the road against the Ravens, man. The Ravens, continue to find ways to lose games. And what does that mean? They continue to find ways to lose my money. Shit. Hell yeah, man. Lamar Jackson sitting out this game, hamstring injury. Cooper Rush will make the start officially. Ravens, worst defense in the NFL, man. I'm crowning it. I don't know, man. Maybe it's probably a toss-up between, like, the Ravens, the Cowboys. I don't know. There's a couple other ones in there. I can't even think of them off the top of my head. But anyways, man, the Texans. Let's talk about the Texans. The Texans have a bad offensive line. That's been their struggle. C.J. Stroud, offensive weapons, Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins. I think Tank Dell hopefully coming back soon. We'll see. I don't know what the timeline is on his injury. I think they've had some running back struggles with Nick Chubb. They just need to get him out of there. He's outdated. Woody Marks and Damian Pierce and then Aguele or something like that. Those guys all look nice. They could have a good committee, running back by committee, sort of similar to what Washington has. with those young guys. They're playing good. So overall, I think the Texans have kind of had a bad break. They played some tough teams. They played the Colts. Like I said, that offensive line has got beat up. I think going up against a Ravens team that has a terrible defense is going to allow the Texans to facilitate their offense a little more. And I think that the Texans defense is going to be good enough to hold the Ravens with Cooper Rush. So give me the Texans to win this game outright, man. And obviously 1.5 points. I think they cover 23-17, 24-20 is kind of how I see that game playing out, man. Give me the Texans. Next up, Giants on the road versus the Saints. Saints in the Dome, 1.5 point favorites, man. Man, on paper, these teams are very similar, and on paper, the Saints are slightly better. Very similar. Rookie quarterbacks, pretty strong run games. Defensively, surprisingly, both teams are actually getting good pressure on the quarterbacks. For the Saints, Granderson's been getting a lot of sacks. Obviously, for the Giants, you've got Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, Carter. Coming off the big win, another road game, I think they won the game at home. It's a whole nother element to win a game as a quarterback, as a rookie quarterback on the road, especially when you're playing somewhere like in Seattle, in Denver, right? In the Dome. Those are tough places to win. So the Saints, obviously, you guys, this is a little bit biased as a Saints fan. The Saints have got to win a game. When you look at the schedule, there's far and few opportunities. This is one of them, and we got to lock it down. I think we do. This is a game. If Kellen Moore can't win this game, he's got to go. He's got to go. All right. Give me the Saints, man. 2016. I think we get this one done. And Rattler's been playing great, guys. Don't overlook the Rat. Okay, Ratty Boy's in there slinging the thing. Okay? Keeping it moving, man. Raiders on the road versus the Colts. Colts 6.5 point favorites, man. Short, sweet. We're not going to overcomplicate this, man. Colts bounce back at home, 34-20. I like the Raiders, but they're struggling offensive line. Geno Smith turning the ball over, man. I feel bad for Max Crosby in the game. But I think this is a bounce back spot for the Colts, man. Give me the Colts. Win and cover. Dolphins on the road, 1.5 point favorites versus the Carolina Panthers. When I was doing notes for this game, I was kind of bouncing back and forth. I was like, oh, this is a good bounce back at home spot for the Panthers, right? We like that spot. But then I was like, the Dolphins looked pretty nice against the Jets. And albeit that's them at home and they're a different team at home versus on the road. These two teams are very similar. Very similar on paper, very similar in real life. Tua, young, a couple quarterbacks that can scramble. Not really playing great in terms of make the decision making. Going to the running back, great run games. You got Devon Achane, you got Chuba Hubbard. Then you move to the outside skill positions to Torrey McLaurin. He's been coming in really great as a rookie. Then on the other side, obviously, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Darren Waller. Defensively, they're very similar as well, man. Outside of the Panthers' one-off win against, shutout win against the Falcons, it's just that they've been beaten up in every single game. So, for that reason, I've seen more promise out of the Dolphins, and I think the Dolphins, after the win against the Jets, they're rolling. They've got some momentum behind them, and I think that even though Tua's going to be out for the season, I think they can rally around that, and I think they can get a win here, 27-23. Give me the Dolphins, man. The Panthers' defenses look like one of the worst defenses as well. Throw them in that mix with Baltimore and Dallas in them. All right, guys, moving on. Buccaneers on the road versus the Seahawks. Seahawks, 3.5 point home favorites. This is a tough one, man. Similar teams on paper as well. Not necessarily a big edge in this game because the Seahawks, I'd like to say, hey, man, they're playing at home. They're normally a good home team. Unfortunately, as of late, the Seahawks haven't been a good covering team at home. The Bucs, they're coming off of a short week, a lot of injuries, right? Bucky, Mike Evans is out, I'm pretty sure. Chris Godwin, he's still coming back off that ankle injury, not really 100%. Some defensive injuries as well. The Seahawks, I think, have the biggest edge. At home, plus rest advantage. I think that's the biggest factor in this game. Both teams look good, but I think Sam Darnold and the boys at home can get this one. Give me the Seahawks 24-20 in a cover and win. I'd love to pick Baker and the boys. I think they're just a little bit beat up right now at this point in the season, man. Next up, man, we're moving through these couple more guys. Hang in there with me, all right? Hang in there with me. Titans versus the Cardinals. Cardinals 7.5-point home favorites, man. The Titans, after getting beat up last week by the Texans, I think I'd like to say this could be a buy low spot on them because the Cardinals, this is just off the eye test, okay? The Cardinals don't look that great either. But when we look at it on paper, Titans are last, dead last, ranked 32 in 4 out of 5 major offensive statistics. That's like total yards, total rush yards, total pass yards, total in points, right? Like the major third down conversion, offensive efficiency per play, these big major categories, they're dead last in 4 out of like 6 of them. That's not good, obviously, right? Also, more bad news for the Titans fans. They are giving up, I think they've given up 17 sacks so far this year. That's the most in the NFL. It's the highest the highest sack rate in the NFL, I believe, as well. Not good, man. That's I do believe in Cam Ward, and I hate to see two things when you have a good quarterback, and that's, no time, high pressure rate, and drop passes. We see a lot of drop passes, and a lot of these guys get into Cam Ward. The Cardinals, they're really not far behind the Titans in terms of major offensive metrics and statistics. They're in the back end of the 20s as well in a lot of these stats, maybe mid to back 20s. They're 6th in defensive points per game that's allowed, and so I think that is kind of a difference for me. The Cardinals having a good defense in terms of points per game allowed means they're bend but don't break, and they're holding tight in the red zone, right? They're creating turnovers as well. This is a bounce back spot at home for the Cardinals, man. As much as I'd like to try and pick some good spots for the Titans to win games, I think the Cardinals can get this one. I think they can get this one. Give me the Cardinals, man, at home. Bounce back spot. I think this is a Marvin Harrison. He's been dropping passes left and right. I think this is a Marvin Harrison get-right game, guys. I think this is a get-right game for the Cardinals altogether for their offense. Give me the Cardinals, 24-13. That's a spread. Bounce back game at home. Let's keep it moving, man. Next up, Commanders versus the Chargers. Chargers laying 2.5 points. Obviously, the storyline of this game, Jaden Daniels making his return, and the Commanders' second best rushing offense in the league. On the flip side of that, the Commanders are the 27th passing defense, allowing 200 and something, maybe 300 yards per game passing, versus obviously the Chargers, who have the 5th best passing offense. So I think this is a good matchup for the Chargers. I think Jalen Daniels coming back, I'd like to say he makes a big difference. Obviously, he makes a huge difference, but I think he's still kind of banged up. As I'm making this video, I'm not even 100% sure that he is back. I think they said he's planning on playing, but he's still questionable. So it's not like it's not like you're going to see Jaden Daniels come into this game and have a lot of rushing attempts. I think that because of the injury, you're going to see him throw the ball away, throw dump off, dink downs, short passes instead of making those big plays or that explosiveness. So Chargers, bounce back spot at home, get right spot. Man, this is one that I'm scared about. But give me the Chargers, man, 27-23. I think they bounce back and win this game at home. Next up, Lions, 10.5-point favorites on the road versus the Bengals. This one is extremely simple, man. This is a blowout alert. Bengals, they can't do anything on offense. They are the worst offensive team in almost every statistic. No run game, no passing game. Dreadful. Obviously, what we saw out of them on Monday night versus the Broncos, I think they had like 180 yards, maybe not even 150 yards of total offense. It's absurd, man. I feel like I could go get 11 people in the country, 11 men that aren't in the NFL, right? Like 11 non-NFL men, and I could get go up against an NFL team with these random 11 Joes, and we could get at least, 150 yards of offense. Like, I don't know, man. Hey, give me the Lions. I think this is a blowout spot, an absolute blowout spot. And we know how the Lions like to play. They like to put it on guy. They like to just hammer this and run up the score 52-10, 48-3. Give me the Lions, man. Blowout alert. This is one of my favorite picks of the week. Next up, man, Patriots versus the Bills. Bills, 7.5-point home favorites, man. The Patriots are a good matchup in this game, okay? It sounds funny, but it's true. Their defense has been playing good. Drake May has been playing great, and this is a divisional game. Let me talk about it. Patriots, man, second best rush defense in yards given up per game, and the Bills are the first rushing offense. The Bills are also the 31st rushing defense. So what I'm telling you is this is strength on strength. This is good run defense versus good run offense. But on the other side of the ball, you've got Drake May. Now, you got Drake May, who, like I said, he's been playing great. And you have the Bills, who are the 31st rushing defense. So they're almost dead last in rushing yards given up per game. What that means to me, Drake May, who is already playing great, he's going to have a good run game going into this game. And it's a divisional game. I think that this edge kind of leans towards the Patriots, and I think that they can slow down the pace and keep this a close game. I think the Saints were able to show and exploit a lot of holes in the Bills' defense, and I think that the Patriots have a better offense, and I think that they can keep it within 7 points. So give me the Patriots to cover, probably something like 27-20, 27-17. 6-point game, and I think the Patriots can cover, man. Hey, we made it. Last up, Chiefs, 3.5-point favorites versus the Jaguars, man. Jaguars at home. Hey, I've been telling y'all about them Jags, man. I've been telling y'all about the Jags, and we're on the Jags. I'm promising y'all. Hey, the Jags are going to do it, man. They're a great team statistically. And let me just tell you kind of outside of the numbers and outside of the stats why this is a trap game and why you want to be on the Jags. The Chiefs just beat up the Ravens. This is a sell high spot for the Chiefs. You got to get rid of them while they're hot. They just beat the Ravens. How did they beat the Ravens? Well, they beat the Ravens, who, like we just talked about, have one of the worst defenses in the league. So the Chiefs are able to move the ball against the worst or one of the worst defenses in the league. And then everyone wants to turn around after that and say, oh, the Chiefs are back. Look at Xavier Worthy catching bombs and doing this and that. Against the worst defense in the league. Okay? Now, how did their defense look? Albeit, Chiefs have a great defense. Historically, they've had a great defense. They still have a great defense. But Lamar Jackson is the heart and soul of the Ravens, and he didn't even play in the second half. So, these numbers are super inflated from the Chiefs. We haven't seen that much out of the Chiefs. They've lost to good teams, but they've lost those games. Whereas the Jags are they're a sleeper team this year. Not a lot of people have got on that train, and I'm telling you guys, they have a great run game and they have a good run game and a good defense. And if they can get some good quarterback play and some turnovers, which they've had a lot of turnovers, I think they can be a playoff team, and I think they can go deep. Okay, I'm being serious. Not even joking. No cap on that rat. Now, Jaguars at home, home field advantage. You take the better run team with the better defense. And that's the Jags, man. I think the Jags can do it. Sell high spot for the Chiefs, man. Let's do it. They're 3.5-point favorites, which means the Jags don't even need to win. They just need to cover at 3 points. I think they can do that for sure. So give me the Jags to cover. And we're going to sprinkle some on that money line, man. As a matter of fact, we're going to dump some on that money line. We're going to hit it pretty heavy. And that's just me. Here's my best bets for y'all. And this week, man, I took a lot of consideration because we need these to hit. We need these to hit. This 8-10 record I'm about to not even have this record on my shit because it's not looking good. I'm getting embarrassed by my damn self out here, exposing myself. So here we go, man. Best bets for this week. And we're locking these in, man. Here we go. First up, Lions, -10.5. Don't even ask me about it. You already know that you put it in your parlay and you locked it in. It's free. Bengals can't move the ball. They're going up against a good defense, good offense in Detroit. Even though Detroit's on the road, man, give me 10. 10's nothing. I would literally go take this game on an alternate line. Lions minus 18, Lions minus 20. All right? And sprinkle some on that. And thank me later. Next up, man. Colts. Minus 6.5 point favorites, man. Colts, bounce back spot at home. This is two things that we love, right? We're betting on a bounce back spot at home. That's a situation that we love, a spot and situation that we love to bet. And we're getting a great team. We're getting a good team. I won't say great because this is their first year being good, right? Versus like maybe like a Bills or Detroit, right? Teams that have kind of historically over the years been good. This is kind of their first year being good, so small sample size, right? Let's see what they do. But give me the Colts. They've looked great. Bounce back spot at home against not a good team in the Raiders, unfortunately. And then the Jags, man. Give me the Jags on the money line. I think my two favorite upsets of this week are the Browns and the Jags. But I love the Jags, man. We're hot on the Jags. So give me the Jags in a primetime game. Lions minus 10.5. Jags money line. Colts minus 6.5. Vanderbilt plus 10.5, man. Vanderbilt, there's no way they're getting blown out. They're not losing that game by double digits, man. It's disrespectful. Diego Pavia, if you haven't seen, go on to Netflix, log into your Netflix account, look up SEC, watch the episode with Diego Pavia, man. He's a beast. He's a beast, and I was on him even last year when he tore up Alabama last year, man. All right, guys. Last up for the best bets, man, we have a moneyline parlay for y'all. The Packers wrecked us last week in a bullshit. Who 40-40 tie? 40-40 tie? How are you scoring 40 points, bro, and not 41? Is what I'm asking. Okay. Lions, obviously. Money line? Come on. Put your kid's life on that one. Colts. Right? Those are two locks. Don't even need to worry about them. Don't even sweat them. But we want to win some money, so we got to put some if, ands, and buts in there. So here we go. Texans, man. Baltimore's falling apart. Baltimore's falling apart. They keep losing games, you know, and we want to be like, oh, well, Derrick Henry fumbled, and they should have won the Bills game, but well, they should have won they should have won, but they didn't. Don't be the guy saying they should have beat the Texans. Be the guy that bet on the Texans, all right? And then last up, man, the Cardinals. Cardinals at home. Hey, man, I think it's a spot for this offense to get right, man. So give me the Cardinals, man. Hey, let's lock in this week, man. Everybody, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely, man, love y'all. Appreciate all the support. Remember to gamble responsibly, man, and follow the Instagram, man. I do have some other best bets and like fighting picks, soccer bets, and some of those things. So if you want to stay up to date on the most, then follow me on there, man. Because some of the best bets on here aren't on, you know. Follow it all, man. And get right with your boy. Anyways, man. Peace and love. Thank you. Let's have a good week, man.